And we should be live. So let me start off by saying welcome to Coffee, Cogs and Confessions. We have members in the audience. We have our viewers that are out on the various platforms. Do post your questions. We should see them in the Discord coming through, and we can ask the players accordingly. Tonight, we've got one member who hasn't arrived yet, but will be turning up shortly. But we are joined by the wonderful, wonderful players, Flaps, Turtle, Omega, and Lou, who will be here shortly. Lou and Omega are in 2 of the campaigns that we're covering tonight, whilst Flaps and Turtle are in the city of Veridia. We may have a couple of other guests jumping in and out throughout the course of this evening, but we have a nice long cross-examination of our players. We have the coffee, which is the relaxed, light and casual side of the questions and answers and conversations. Then we have the cogs, which is the mechanics, the law, that sort of thing. And then we also have the confessions, which, as our players know, are the deep-seated questions that they often find struggling to answer. So, with that being said, let's pour the coffee, wind the cogs, and keep your confessions away from both the memory lamps and divining eyes. Tonight we're looking at 2 parties in 2 different cities. One trying to break into St. Barrow's Annex, and the other deciding what Veridia should become. The cities, though separate, are, well, let's just say the questions underneath them are not. So, slight spoiler warning for those that haven't watched the live episodes. Do go and watch them and come back. You're more than welcome to watch this on the VODs on YouTube. So, do keep up with our channel there whenever appropriate. So, let's start. Let's start with Flaps, actually. What would your character be drinking beside the fire tonight?
He would be probably enjoying a nice cup of jasmine tea.
Turtle?
Alcohol. Copious amounts of alcohol.
We do not endorse alcoholism. In fact, we advise that you drink responsibly.
Yeah, moderately. But there will be multiple refills.
They can take responsibility. We won't.
Water or tea in between.
Yep. And Omega, what would your characters be drinking tonight?
I will be drinking probably wake nachos. Osiris at the moment, bourbon. Straight bourbon.
Fair.
Smooth.
Oh, he's chugging the bottle. What's happening next in Dice Destiny? He's chugging that bottle.
Oh dear.
I think everyone would probably be along the same boat.
Well, let's go for a second warm-up question then, shall we? What's the one thought that your character cannot stop turning over in their heads right now? Flaps. What's Aurelian's thoughts right now? What's one thing he can't stop turning over in his head?
Should I not unalive Severin?
Severin!
Why is my hair hurting?
Oh dear. I can see this going downhill pretty quick tonight, so let's go with Omega. Let's start with your City of Veridia character.
Joel, he's actually going to have a plain question in his head right now. Who's the pretty lady that just walked into our bar?
Yeah, fair.
That is some, like, that normal ass question.
Name is Joe.
I
Well,
want to
that,
know what Cyrus is.
that pretty lady that's just walked into the bar is Sienna, and hopefully she'll be turning up tonight. Shortly. And what about Osiris?
How much can a werewolf drink before he gets drunk? And will he turn into werewolf form when drunk?
Ooh,
Does it cross
drunken
over?
werewolf out on the prowl. That's scary.
Fair
Would
enough.
that
Drunken
not
werewolf.
mean?
That if
Wouldn't that mean that a drunken werewolf would eventually, some point during that drunken session, turn back into a naked, confused human?
Potentially.
That's nightmare fuel.
yeah,
If they fail their con save, yes.
if I fail wisdom save, everyone's having a bad time.
Ugh, yeah, let's hope you keep above half your health.
Not with that sword you gave me.
That's what temptations are for.
Let's keep the
Bad
werewolf.
DM always, bad player always names his DM.
Oh no, I'm not blaming him.
Oh,
It's gonna be
no.
hilarious.
This DM will always blame the players. Of that, I have zero doubt. It's always going to be your fault.
Yeah, in Veridia, I agree with you there.
Yes.
I can't deny that.
Who's
I
the
don't
problem
think any
player?
of you
All
can.
us. No. The only one who can deny it is Lou. Because she just joined.
That's true. So, in Veridia, the current shape of the story, the Cadaver Crew have uncovered in the past a museum-linked cover-up, learned that the Wormwell engine is failing, and watched Hexalon become a civic contradiction. You've lost Jeff and Wilson to the disarrangement with Don John, and welcomed Aurelian and Maeve and Sienna. Chose the Archfey's garden as the final destination, and have stolen 6 living jasmine plants from a noble already moving to control Veridia's corruption. The same noble that once offered you a path of cleaning up the city.
What, the bloke you brought to the pub for us?
Yep,
Whoops.
That's the same dude.
it's the same dude.
I totally didn't know that.
I did tell you.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that far back.
Well, after he traded us, he deserved to get his teeth taken away from him.
Did he, though? Or is that pure greed on your character's part?
50-50.
And then on the other side of that coin, we have Aura, who has chosen the prisoners before herself and was taken. The party entering Londinium through a smuggling route, acquiring tailored identities, discovered her transfer to St. Barrow's Annex, bargained with Lord Whitestaff for an audit, and reached the moment where the facility began locking down. Aura now has pages from a red folio, and the party has a route towards her, with Captain Sorrel, who knows far too much. So that should hopefully set the scene for tonight's Coffee, Cogs and Confessions. Speaking of Aura and
Hello.
Sienna, hello and welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we've got one group that's trying to enter a place that should never have existed. And then we've got the other group that is beginning to realise that the entire city has systems for hiding that should never be remembered. Let's start with the two cities themselves. In of Dice and Destiny, we have
Oh no.
Omega. Your character is the only one that's actually free to roam around at the moment. But we also have Lou's character, Aura, who is trapped in St. Barrow's Annex. And we'll start with Lou, I think. When you went away for your holidays, shall we say,
Yes.
we sat down and we discussed the means to which your disappearance and capture would occur. Do you recall that?
I do. Vaguely.
What were your thoughts on how that event was narrated, and what was going through your head at the time when we were discussing it? What was your thoughts on that?
My thought was that I'm an evil person and I like putting my characters through trauma.
Say that again.
My thought was that I'm an evil person and I like putting my characters through trauma. And this was the best way I could do that, especially since I was leaving. I remember you giving me the option and just saying, yeah, go full send, do whatever you want to her. She's a strong girl, she can take it.
Fair enough. And in regards to your capture, one of the things that's cropped up over the course of this that you're now aware of is that they were very, very protective of your hands.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
They must want something either specifically to do with Shantae or with the fact that I can do like healing and like divination of sorts. Because otherwise I don't know why they'd be so fixated on my hands specifically, because naturally that's what she uses to pray with.
Yes.
And prayer is how she casts.
It does bring up some interesting questions. Something else that's been mentioned a few times within clues that have been left behind or things that you've overheard is the constant mention of useful and how useful you could be. Any thoughts or theories on that?
I feel like they want me to do something for them. Or almost manipulate Aura in a way to gain something from her connection to divinity.
Fair enough.
Like the only logical thing I can think of. And also they keep mentioning this crown.
That they do.
I don't know if that's like there's a new monarchy happening and they want Aura to show that it's like divinely accepted, or I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure that the answer to that question will come in due time. That's one I'm not giving away just yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, keep it mysterious, I guess.
Tailors of Cambridge and Tailored Lies, Killian.
Oh no! Oh no!
The party has paid heavily to enter Londinium, followed by coded directions through its controlled first layer. And you managed to reach James and Victoria at the Cambridge of Tailors. The Tailors of Cambridge, sorry. I will get my words right one day. And then shortly after your arrival, Captain Sorrell arrived, recognised Milo, and left the party knowing that you had all been assessed. The Taylors then turned you lot into a group of plausible private commissions, which then
True.
helped you pass Penn Wallace, while revealing that Aura was useful to the writ and that her hands were not to be damaged. What are your thoughts on, and this is spanning, I think, the last 4 sessions in total. So give us a rundown on what your thoughts are on the Taylors of Cambridge and James and Victoria, Lord Whitestaff, and what's going through Osiris's head as all of this is coming to be as you're mounting towards the rescue.
His opinions on the Taylors of Cambridge and some of the stuff they learned, because to be honest, some of it was just blanking out blur to him because they started talking about Earth, and he knows nothing of Earth, just that it's, oh, there's this other world. Great!
Fair enough.
But the Taylors of Cambridge seem alright, but a little like he doesn't trust them. And not at all. They're okay and they're helping, but like they seem very like they're better. is really the thing, because they only talked to the others. They only mentioned us. They only talked to Osiris when he was either useful for something or trying to design his outfit. Everything else, not a word to him. This is lower class citizen versus higher class citizen. He feels discriminated here. That's what's going on here.
That's not a level of discrimination based on race or class in Albion. That is that is discrimination based on what planet you've come from.
Sure, yeah. It's the worst kind of discrimination, to be honest.
But
What do you
then,
mean I'm from this place?
but to be fair, they didn't like Jeff either.
So what? Jeff doesn't like Jeff. Jeff hates Jeff.
We hated to like Jeff.
I feel so bad for Arias because of how he had to play Jeff. He hated Jeff.
Yeah. No, I agree with that statement. He did absolutely hate his character. But
He was a...
the thing I will say about Jeff though is that one of the things that when it came to crunch time, he was always there for the party.
Oh yeah.
Even if some of his decisions were questionable.
He was always there. He was a great lad. Jeff was, well, great lad. Let's not put it that way. But he was there. He showed up and he did his thing, and he did it well. Back to the question, the captain. Oh, we are so getting tracked.
Mm-hmm.
It is so obvious we're getting tracked. This captain keeps showing up everywhere. Osiris's mind was, should we just kill the captain right now? That was the thought process. As soon as they came into the Taylors of Cambridge, he was thinking, should I just kill them right now? Should we start this combat?
I can promise you that wouldn't have gone well.
No, I've got my ass handed to me.
Violent tendencies, goodness gracious. I thought Osiris was this like big teddy bear.
He's a big teddy bear. Just wait till you get to his backstory.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it, hon. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Me and Metal have not been cooking up with anything.
Oh yay!
Absolutely not.
No. Never. Never.
Look at that flying pig.
What do you mean, flying
Uh,
pig? Oh dear. So, in that regard, let's start with some of the coffee in the of Dice and Destiny campaign. And we do have Tom, who plays Chris, in the audience, who should be coming up on stage in a moment. So he can answer some of these questions as well when he joins. But let's start with the coffee. What was the first detail about Londinium that made it feel impressive rather than safe in your minds?
Oh, fuck.
I don't think I get to make a comment here.
Sorry?
You were in Londinium for a bit
Yeah.
before you had to go.
Oh, shoot, yeah, I was.
You were.
Yeah, you
Come
are.
on now. I think how many guards were patrolling was one of the big things. They weren't good guards, like in the slightest, like not at all. But there's a big plenty of guards around. Who are
Fair enough.
mostly part of Black Glass.
Fair enough.
I think the fact that all of the churches seemed to be quite small and almost struggling a little that were around kind of like threw me a little bit, because I don't know, I'm not a religious person myself, but normally I like associate churches with doing well off because a lot of people put a lot of soul into their faith.
Yes.
To see them struggle kind of was like, huh, that's not right. That's simply incorrect.
Do you think the struggle with the churches could change if the Black Glass Writ was perhaps removed from the equation?
Ooh.
Don't know.
Ooh.
I feel like there's a potential for it, but there's also a potential that they'll kind of remain the way they are because they've kind of almost been cast aside by anyone who's not within the faith.
Yeah.
Which again, very odd to me.
Fair enough. So which tailored identity this is mostly for Killian because you've not been around for the tailored identities themselves, but which tailored identity felt the most like a disguise to you, and which accidentally revealed something true about the character, do you think?
About all of our tailored identities?
Yes.
Ooh. I think.
That's an accent change.
What? What do you want about?
I noticed it, don't worry, Lou.
I'm not going insane here.
I'm sorry, I've.
Go on. Let's answer the question.
I think. Honestly, Jess's identity.
Jess, that okay. Why do you think that to be?
It shows more of her actual personality as a character. And she's mostly stepping up for, like, talking for the group.
Yeah.
And also, in her world, having that job that she does, being the one that's the talkative person, also you get a good read on other people.
Yeah.
So it brought very much the character out with the tailored identity.
That's actually a very fair answer. Interesting. And last but not least, was there a moment during the fittings where any of you or any of the party members, do you feel, forgot, even temporarily, how dangerous the situation was?
A little, a small bit. We're trying to pick certain identities, and Chris's idea of being a botanist was a really good idea
Yeah.
because Londinium has plants. You've described a bunch of plants, but not too many. So if a botanist came in, it wouldn't be the most abnormal thing to happen.
True.
The bodyguard stuff was, for me and Aspen, were pretty good too. Thieves one kind of, as an arcane scholar, because he has the build, as he's described his own character. He has the build of a martial artist,
Yeah.
which throws a lot of people, especially if you're supposed to be an arcane scholar. Which was a very interesting choice, but it makes sense for his class.
Yeah.
Definitely thinking of, because I don't remember who said it, but someone said something about ship stuff, and I didn't interject, but you immediately did, because any of the sailors around are not in the main circle; they're in the
Yeah.
outside circle. Which if someone was dressed up as a sailor, that would throw a lot off.
Yeah.
I do think mostly though we've picked good, apart from a small few discussions of other ones.
Interesting. So let's very quickly discuss similar questions about the city of Veridia then. Lou is new to the campaign, but your character is not necessarily new to the city of Veridia.
No, very much not.
And where in Londinium the danger is that the city sees you too clearly and records the wrong face, notices the wrong animals, and remembers that you do not belong, Veridia turns that fear inside out. There, the city can record and decide that you were never there at all if it wanted to. But with that being said, there's a few storylines that are at play at the moment within the city of Veridia, of which are open-ended as of yet. And the crew has, what is it now, 5 days left before the wormwell engine needs to be fixed and repaired?
Yeah. 5.
5 days. And during that time, you have a total of 12 open threads, one of which might be coming to light very, very soon. That is a story of the Synod, the Museum of Civic Memory, shall we say, for those that are uninitiated, and the connection that it has with the purple tendrils. Oh, no reaction from Flaps. That's upsetting.
No, because I know what the purple tendrils are.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
I had a conversation with a certain person.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm not saying anything.
No, that's fair. But I was expecting some sort of reaction. Ah, dear. But yes, there's that. Then there's the path for the Archfey's garden and reality itself that also correcting itself in a certain way. But with all of that, there's a few funny moments that have occurred during the course of this. There was the shark incident with your character Kane and Jeff. There was the donjon being taken. I think we'll start there in a moment. And then another one is the most recent tea heist that you've all performed in the name of the Archfey. And we'll also be getting to that because there was a certain Fey coin that was spent that enabled that entire thing to happen. Yes, I'm looking at you for that, Turtle.
Much fake coin.
Same Turtle.
Yep. Turtle.
Mm.
Turtle's muted at the moment for some reason. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I'm here.
So yes, what was it, Turtle, that made you flick that Fey coin?
I had one left. So I was like, no, what? Let's flip the coin and see what we get. I kind of was like, all right, fuck it, let's gamble.
Fair enough. So the whole tea heist ended up coming about because of a gamble. Indeed. So let's start with the golden thorn, the recognized seal from Sienna's character. Without revealing too much, what is your character looking at and feeling when that was revealed to you, Lou?
Okay. She's looking at prison, but is
Oh, we got a
excited.
criminal on our hands.
But she's very excited when she sees it,
Mm-hmm.
but also dreading to see it, but more excited.
Is that because it's a path that you're actively looking at resolving in a vengeful way, or because it's a path that you're looking at resolving for another emotional reason?
Vengeful. 100% vengeful. She wants suffering.
And it's been previously mentioned by the Cadaver Crew here that they want to blow up the city.
No.
Yes. That was live.
We have players said we're going to blow up the city. We didn't say that in character.
Yeah, there's a subtle difference there.
But us as players said it.
And I think technically the only character that had openly said that through his own mouth would have been Jeff.
Yeah.
And it quickly got shut down.
Yeah, fair. But if blowing up the city in some way, shape, or form was, in your mind, an option, Lou, for your character, what particular part of the city does she want to blow up the most?
Ooh. The upper class, like wherever the upper class stay.
Oh, nobility. The West.
Yeah. Yes. She wants it to burn. She
Blow up the
wishes to
ability.
hear the agonized screams.
You're a terrifying individual.
Severin might be able to get down with that, and be all right with it. He won't see no problems with it.
Hell yeah.
She's like, that's like her
So
one goal.
it would mean he can't fleece them for any gold or
Hey, gold doesn't melt. It
Okay.
doesn't burn. It
but
melts.
they have the most of it, and he uses them as in he'll do a couple forgery side jobs to hopefully get a little off of them, and kind of
No, but hear me out.
up the
Gold
price.
doesn't burn. It melts. You can still have the gold afterwards. Just wait for it to cool down.
That's true.
We'll get into the semantics
also-
of melting gold.
It's also the technique. It's also the fact that he's losing his. I wouldn't say customers. He's losing his targets.
Mm.
It'll be fine.
Fair enough. So, from the audience, a question for Lou. If you stood at the wake of the city the wake of a city burned, plagued by a looming sense of grief and remembrance, would your actions still seem worth taking?
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Ooh, I think we see the depth of the character here.
Like, she may struggle with it a little bit, but it's 100% going to be worth it for her.
Fair enough. Now, one of the things with your character is the connection with the nobility and the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And that could come into play over the course of the next couple of sessions for not just your character, but the rest of the Cadaver Crew as well. So I like to frame the next question in a way that hopefully will make you all think a little bit here. What would you say is more disturbing? The museum planning to frame the crew, as was witnessed in the recording that you recovered, or the existence of an official process for correcting people and streets?
Mm.
Oh.
Mm. I'd say correcting people in the streets. That's a bit more frightening than the other thing.
And do you think there could be a link between the Museum of Civic Memory and the corrections that are happening?
Aurelian would probably think there is a connection, but I think Aurelian, like most people of his kind, he is fully obsessed with figuring out what happened in the lost hour.
In the Black Hour.
Yep.
So, on that note, does the existence of continuance custody, God, I can't speak that word for some reason today. I've tried to say it several times and failed before the session began. But does the existence of continuance custody feel like a rescue center, imprisonment, or sacrifice to you?
I'd say it's a mix between rescue and imprisonment, because you can be rescued, but you ain't going to be able to leave there until the problems are sorted.
So, what point would you say then, Flaps, did Hexalon stop feeling like a mystery to solve and becomes someone the city was actively trying to take away.
I think when the city started posting warrants for his arrest, marked a week prior.
Interesting. We're going to move on to Turtle. And we'll start with an audience question. So,
Lovely.
you find your barrel honed on the head of a dear comrade. If you knew taking their life could save Veridia's people, would your character pull the trigger?
So if that's a good one. Also, tough one. Given that Severin is the type that he doesn't trust easy, we'll go with the fact of it's any of his party members that we currently have now, he would trust in 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And if it came down to the fact of it was either kill them to better the city or let them live and the city essentially go to ruin, he would essentially damn the city because in his eyes, the way he sees it, he trusts his friends. If they say they didn't have anything to do with it, he'll take them at the word. But if somehow it was proven that they were, also a bit of a tricky thing.
Fair enough.
I'd say he probably wouldn't kill them.
I think that leads quite nicely into the next question that I have. And this is a cross-campaign question, so answer for all. Would your character rather live in a city that watches their every move or one that can erase the fact that they were ever there?
Okay.
For Severin, he doesn't care if they watch him. He has ways of getting around that.
Ooh, Kane doesn't care if people watch him either.
Because
Yeah,
the
would
majority
rather.
of the time,
Oh,
when
sorry.
majority of the time when Severin goes out on a job, he's not going out as himself.
Yeah. And what would Sienna?
I think Sienna would rather a city that could erase her existence, because that means she can erase her own existence and also the existence of others.
Fair enough.
But Aura, the opposite. Like she almost finds comfort in having an eye on her, be that God or not.
Ooh. Actually, Osiris is going to join in on this because he's been watched his whole life. It don't matter to him anymore. He got creepy things.
Yes. Well, on that note, in Of Dice and Destiny, both parties receive help from powers whose assistance may be more dangerous than refusal. But in Of Dice and Destiny, in the private commission episode, where you actually went off to meet Lord Whitestaff, and after he received the delayed letter and learned that his processed black glass shipment had been diverted, and offered the party a political audit as cover, lost his most trusted staff, and knew about the smuggling routes that could possibly make the rescue possible. What are your thoughts on Lord Whitestaff and his actions from the perspective of your characters? Because he doesn't come across as someone who's necessarily trustworthy, but at the same time, he does have that useful ally aspect to him. But what is it that your characters think of him?
Ooh. Cyrus thinks of him as necessary. He's a good ally, but also there's always these kinds of people in every city. He's just glad that they're on semi-okay terms with him.
And what was your character's thoughts after all of that when Captain Sorrel came into the Anchor's Way and delivered that note?
Can't even send post home anymore. Honest thought. Can't even send post home.
Fair enough. And unfortunately, there's a question for me.
Ooh.
Ew.
I will get to
Come on.
that. I will get to that in a moment. We can save it. But don't worry, Spec, I will post the answer to you as well anyway. But we'll get to that in a moment when it comes time for the DM's questions, which will be soon. Let's start with some coffee then. Whiskey, manners, and first impressions. Who do you think in the party handled Lord Whitestaff the best, and who was the most visibly uncomfortable?
Handled him the best? Why was I going to say Jeff? Jeff's not even there. That would be funny. Jess.
Fair enough. And do you think introducing Jack Daniels to Albion was the party's finest cultural exchange or its most irresponsible?
I'm sorry, Jack Daniels?
Yep. I actually did not tell you that. Yep. I forgot to tell you that. Oops.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, they introduced Jack Daniels, not we. I was not part of that conversation.
And you say we're irresponsible.
That was actually Jeff,
to a degree.
to be fair. It was actually Jeff that introduced Jack Daniels, and the party merely delivered something to some Jack Daniels to Lord Whitestaff, where he's going to analyse it and see if they can basically replicate it for Albion as a cheap alternative to whiskey that they can flood the market with.
Interesting.
But that was introduced by Jeff.
I think it was such a bad idea. Why? Why Jack? Why Jack? Out of all alcohols to do, Jack.
Well, I mean, from Jeff's point of view, you introduce the crap alternative to your rival. You introduce that to the world, you flood it with the really bad stuff from all the local sources and what have you, and then from Jeff's point of view, you then go off and make the decent stuff. And you set up your empire going, well, mine's 10 times better than his.
I wouldn't call Jack Daniels decent.
Exactly, nor would I. But from Jeff's perspective, introduce it, let them have it, and then make your own that's better. That was one of Jeff's plans.
Wait, was that
Before
actually
he
one of his
left.
plans?
Yeah,
Oh
before
my
he
god.
left.
Very sorry. I don't know who Jeff is.
Jeff is from City of Veridia.
Right.
We'll look at an episode later on. I'll show you.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, we'll look at
Thank
one
you,
later
Barrow.
on. Don't worry.
So, with that being said, let's move on a little bit. So, in terms of the rescue of Aura, which is coming up in the next episode next week, would the party risk Aura to obtain evidence that could save many, many more prisoners? And would Aura prefer that over being rescued if she knew that being rescued might mean the sacrifice of a few other prisoners?
I'll let Killian answer this first. Purely out of curiosity, because I know my answer.
Cyrus would not sacrifice Aura to save a few others. It doesn't matter who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Aura is a dear friend, and everyone wants her back, so we're going to get her back.
And we are joined by Chris, who I would like to ask the same question to.
Hi, Tom!
Hi.
Hello.
What's the question?
So, would you risk Aura to obtain evidence that could save many, many more prisoners later? Or would you prefer to rescue Aura at the cost or sacrifice of some of the other prisoners?
Oh no, I don't. We're out of there.
You cut out a lot there, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a crud about the others. I just want to rescue Aura.
Fair. Fair enough. Well, White Stuff is useful because at the end of the day he understands the machine and is compromised because he still wants parts of it running. Veridia offers the Cadaver Crew a different kind of patron, one who does not want to repair the city at all, but to grow something through it. And a part of that is the Wormwell bargain that's been made, where Roland connected the failing engine and the tunnels and the Archfey's possible garden. Maeve then arrived at the Cadaver and heard life beneath Veridia, and is now actively cultivating it, whilst Lillian has offered her the cellar and rooftop garden. Maeve also signed the deed, only after making Lillian accept responsibility for the consequences. Despite this, she's the only one that managed to persuade Lillian to accept all consequences. For everyone else, it's just legal repercussions. How does that make the rest of the Cadaver Crew feel?
Ooh.
I think for Aurelian, he's not really bothered. It's just a nice place where you can have a good cup of tea, a good bit of breakfast, and he's got a room upstairs.
I mean, that's fair.
So everyone's fine. And he's like, okay, you did good. And he ain't phased by it. If he has to, he could probably find a way to get out of the consequences if it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ian isn't too worried about it. His objective is what his patron and his goddess want, which is side with the Fae, adapt, overcome, and help the innocent people. That's his main objective. And that's what he's going to be doing. So he's not too bothered by it.
Fair enough. And how did the entirety of the crew feel the day that Jeff left and Maeve arrived?
Missed you.
Please let her be better.
That's to be determined.
That's terrifying.
Another one bit the dust, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put that in my head. Don't put that on my head.
Another one bit the dust. Do you think that's just going to be a theme for the city of Veridia?
I
Yeah,
think the city
everyone
has
dies,
to
everyone gets
people.
taken. It happens. It's a day-to-day occurrence in this city.
Here's a real challenge. How many characters are we going to go through the entirety of the city of Veridia?
Oh God.
As many as we need until we can get it to where we want it.
Yeah. Joe, I want Kate to survive, so...
Fair enough. So, on that one, Kane, I have a question for your character here.
Oh,
Does he want to save Veridia? Or is it a case of he just wants to prove that he can?
No. He doesn't care about proving anything to anyone. That's never been his kind of thing. He wants to save the innocent because where he's from an alright place. He's from the ocean, and he feels a lot of people could or need guidance and a helping hand. Most of the higher class people who are the ones in power, he could not give two shits about. He will most likely kill some of them. That I am already saying he's probably going to kill some of them.
Fair enough.
But
Would you say he wants to be the very best?
mayhaps.
I held it together. I didn't laugh.
Yep. I was trying not to.
That's what I was trying to get.
I'm going to turn him into a beast tamer next so he can have a Pokemon.
I'm sorry. I
Kane
died
Pokemon
for a
trainer.
second. Holy, I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
It's confirmed
I've
now,
got
guys.
characters. I've got a cowardly lion backup character, and I've also got. I have been threatening metal by bringing egg into the party.
Egg?
I'm so excited for Egg. I'm so excited.
Egg is a
You told me so much.
I've had a few short games with Egg. He's a hoot.
Speaking of egg and chaos, who do you think needs the garden to work the most? And what does that need make them willing, your characters or whomever, what does it make them willing to ignore?
Ooh.
Ooh, the person who needs the most, I feel like, is Maeve.
Yeah, I think Maeve would benefit the most from the garden, and I think that means Maeve would be susceptible to as much outside influence as we can exert in order to get her to do what we want. Just so she knows that we will work for your best interest in the garden as long as you do stuff for us.
It depends on the extent of how crazy the guarding can get.
Well, considering you'll be turning, if you follow the Archfey's plan, approximately half of the city, namely the noble half and the council districts, into the garden overall.
So it wouldn't affect any of the lower income common folk?
Not necessarily. I mean, there might be some overlap, obviously. Like, there's always going to be some collateral here and there, but we'll see how well you lot can control it.
So what you're saying is it's not really going to affect anyone in the city that we care about.
Depends if you warn them or not.
Oh, we'll warn all the lower class citizens. Tell them to just, on that day, go for a little bit of a holiday down to the other side of the city for a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Extended vacation.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, on that note, I'm going to move on, I think, ever so slightly to let's hear your questions for the DM. I've asked you lot a few. I've got a lot more in my notes. But we'll start with a question for me from one of the audience members. He says, consider the entire Veridia cast, including past and present. Who would you say has the people's best interest in mind? Honestly, I would absolutely have to say Hexalon.
Excuse me?
Not Hexalon, the Hexblood, Severin. I keep getting that.
What
Sorry.
did I do?
Whoa. I'm muted, and hearing that, I went, probably not Severin. What the hell you mean, Severin?
I would say...
He will sell out everyone.
Yeah. But in terms of who's got the Veridia's best interests at heart, I would honestly say Severin, because he's the most morally composed of the group.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't ever extort those that don't have the money when he does a job or anything.
So
he knows how it feels to be without.
Yeah, so my answer to that question from Spec is Severin.
Fair enough.
And if the city were to burn, which it won't, as far as I'm aware, it won't, unless you not make it happen. But if the city was to burn, who would race to extinguish the fires? I would imagine that the majority of the Cadaver Crew would race to extinguish the fires from spreading into the poorer districts of the city and the slums, more so than anywhere else. And it would definitely become I would say that would be the sparking of a class revolution in the city of Veridia.
Severin would bounce back between putting out fires in the slums and Commonwealth area to going back to jump and throw gasoline onto the fires for the noble areas.
Yup.
I hate to say, I think Sierra would just be throwing gasoline in the noble area and not be putting any fires out.
I got clean water for a reason.
Starting Veridia's version of the French Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
You might. You never know.
Yes.
Anything is possible. Viva la Veridia. Oh, God. No, we are not changing the title.
Viva la Veridia.
Viva la Veridia.
Yes, Viva la Veridia.
If the city were to burn, I think Aurelian would be leading the people in a massive citywide version of Do You Hear the People Sing?
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Fabulous.
So, I know Lou has a question for me as DM.
I have a few questions for you as a GM.
Let's hear them.
You have a monarchy you have created for this world.
Yes.
How important are they per campaign? And who is not a monarchy, a pantheon? I was so wrong with my wording there. You have a pantheon that you've created for your world.
Yes, that's correct.
There we go. We're on the right page, guys.
I also have a monarchy, but that's
Yeah.
that's another
Well,
story.
I know that. Didn't know that 2 seconds ago, but I know that now. How important are they going to be for both different campaigns, as I am in both?
Mm-hmm.
And which of the members of the Pantheon do you wish had more spotlight? Because we know Shantae has some spotlight due to Aura, but are there other gods you would like to have some attention?
Yes, there are other gods that I would like to get some attention to, and that is coming. There is 2 in particular that I'm looking forward to, and one of them is very, very relevant to a character's story arc. I'm not going to say which.
Damn it!
But the other one is actually the mask, which has been mentioned a couple of times in dreams to Jess. The mask is constantly judging the thieves and rogues that frequent across Albion, not necessarily as a god or a patron to be worshipped, but more as a guidance to those that live by a rogue's moral code. And he becomes very, very judgmental. If rogues kill unnecessarily, or if actions are inconsiderate, if actions a rogue makes are inconsiderate, this rogue god, the masked figure, will intervene in ways that are not necessarily immediately obvious. And I'm looking forward to some of the consequences that may be coming Jess's way soon.
Oh.
This mask figure, does he have a green face?
No.
Oh my god.
That's really interesting.
I was waiting for that
Are you
reference.
referring to Big Head?
As for the city of Veridia, you've probably noticed, or at least the rest of the Cadaver Crew has probably noticed, that it is a city that has pretty much forsaken the gods. In turn, they have chosen the idea of advancement of science and technologies. And those technologies are slowly trickling out from the city of Veridia around Albion and the rest of the world. Very slowly. So in Londinium, for example, there are the Lantern Rites lamps, which are available, but they're not the memory lamps as of yet. That hasn't been upgraded. They are just methane lamps and oil lamps that has been seen to be a benefit to other towns. So it's very controlled in terms of the technology that leaves the city of Veridia. But yes, the city of Veridia has, for the most part, forsaken the gods and the pantheon. But they are there if they want to get involved. But for the most part, they stay out of it. because reasons in history that has yet to be discovered.
Interesting.
I've got a question for Lou.
For me.
Yeah,
But this is Ask the DM.
I know. It's just I just thought of this, and it would kind of fit with being that she had just joined in Veridia, and just met our characters. What is her character's current thoughts on the party as they just came in to the bar and met them for the first time?
I can't disclose her full opinion.
Just surface thoughts of, like,
But I
what are
can
these chuckle thoughts kind of thing.
she's disappointed.
Really?
Oh. We're pleased.
Understandable given that one. Understandable given that one was literally puking up blood in the bathroom.
Like she's heard
That's
a rumor.
valid.
She's heard a rumor, a many, of these adventurers, let's say. And then she sees them for the first time, and they're in a bit of a miserable state.
Yeah.
We're very sorry that we're suffering from ennui and depression since two of our party have gone. We do apologise. We're trying to cheer up a bit.
God, you could have given me a better welcome. Jeez.
We'll come back to you in 5 to 10 business days with that.
That is exactly why I had Severin still in his disguised self form, just walk in without saying a word and put a hand up with a finger going, as in like saying 1 minute, and then rush off because he's pretty much exhausted, a bit bloodied from doing what he did, so he essentially had to go clean up a bit. And yeah, I was like, well, let the others have their entrance parts, and then Seven will come in last and be like, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit more put together. Normally, I kind of strained myself a bit today.
We used them too hard. I have a question for the DM.
Go for it.
Since this is DM's questions. Of all the NPCs that have been played so far in Veridia, who's your favourite and who would you bring back?
In Veridia, who's my favourite?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can responsibly answer that question
That's
at
not
this
terrifying.
time.
What the hell?
I can
Okay,
safely, what I can safely say is that despite his atrocities, shall we say, he has been the most entertaining, and that Jeff has been very entertaining for me. Other characters are that are in the lineup for my favourites in terms of the entertainment value have been Severin and Hexalon Incident, where Hexalon was basically vortex warped out of trouble. And I would say the other sort of very entertaining moment that I've enjoyed was I would say a lot of the interactions that have occurred between Lilian and the players when sort of in the mornings and evenings, although not so much the evenings, but definitely the mornings. Those interactions with Lilian I enjoy those moments as an entertaining factor because it's not just serving the briefing for the session, but it's also my way of being able to play or toy with the thoughts and emotions of the characters in a very, very deceiving way.
Lillian does that so well.
I thank you for the compliment.
Anyone else have a question? I actually think I have a question. It'll be you.
Yes.
All right. Out of all the NPCs that we've met or haven't met,
Mhm.
which one do you think would be a consequence-free kill?
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting question.
I will say this now. In the city of Veridia, every faction has ties with other factions in the sense of a stalemate in a Cold War. No matter who you take out, if the power is lost from one of these factions in any way, shape, or form, there will be fallout and there will be consequence. What happens is going to be inevitable in regards to if you take out a member of the faction or a faction leader. The consequence of doing that is going to be inevitable. The power vacuum and the struggle and the change in the city will be chaos for you as players to wrap your head around. The dynamics and the political shift will happen so quickly that it might catch up with you sooner rather than later, because your party has a notoriety about it at the moment. You are at the moment you are at a reputation level that isn't positive.
All our hard work's paid off.
Oh no.
But that could change. And you as players have the power to change that.
You know, hopefully with the two new players that joined us, we might actually have a lot more brain cells amongst us.
I doubt it.
I was gonna say, you think my character has brain cells?
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
So, these are Albion is an actual world that has things going on to the point we have two very different campaigns happening at once.
Yes.
What major events are happening throughout the world that the party may not know or even hear about? Events that may even affect them, like small wars, mining incidents, bandits taking over trade routes, preventing certain resources from reaching where they need to go. What events have pretty much gone under the party's radar but are considered notable throughout the world?
One that I will say is an event that's gone under the radar is mostly having been orchestrated by the Black Glass Writ. And that is also something that will be discovered in a future story arc. But it has had major consequences, and rather than destroying or blocking supplies, minerals, or anything like that, In fact, what's actually occurred is it's set up certain trade routes that would never have existed before.
Hmm.
I've got another question for you, Mel.
Yes.
I do recall slightly that a theoretical question of mine was building a device that could spray highly pressurized manure at the clockwork, the Lantern Rides building, because we don't like them. I actually have a plan, and I actually have a picture of what the machine would look like.
Okay. You have a plan, you have the image, you have the diagrams.
Yes.
Put them into our chat, and I will give you a timeline and a list of everything that you'll need to complete. But what I will say is if it's going to take longer than 5 days, your invention might not come to fruition.
Oh no, I think this is an invention that the Gnomish Mafia could knock up in a couple of hours.
The first form you showed me, it was way too big. I was like, you need to size that down a bit, more of like pushable kind of type. And theoretically, I think it probably could be done relatively quick.
Well,
Yeah, I think with this one,
post the information. Post the information during your downtime or during one of the sessions. It's up to you. Go and have a negotiation with the Gnomish Mafia, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if it's possible.
Okay.
I have a last question for the DM.
Yes.
You have a lot of players.
Yes.
And they all have different backstories and different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Which backstory do you think will become the most crucial to the plot?
In Albion as a whole, across all the campaigns, or in one particular campaign?
In Albion as a whole.
In Albion as a whole, probably the most crucial will be the backstory of Maeve, especially as you have picked the Archfey's Garden route. Well, the rest of the Cadaver Crew has.
I didn't really, but I'll take it in stride.
Feywild.
But it's also going to play an important role for the of Dice and Destiny crew. Which does lead me to one more DM question that I know you have, Lou.
Okay.
Oh, you know? Okay.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
It's that one we talked about before. We talked about earlier.
So ask away.
So it has recently come to my attention that if Osiris was to come back to the real world, to Earth, with the party, he would die very quickly.
Yes.
In a few years, due to rapid aging. And Aura, in this world that they're in, will live for a very long time. Is there any way of either extending Osiris's life on Earth or shortening Aura's life in this world?
There is a way to do both.
Okay.
We're getting metaphysical now.
However,
pick your poison type. Oh god.
It is literally, as Killian just said, a pick your poison deal.
Yup.
Oh no. Are you going to
Sorry,
tell me?
And the
Or am I gonna have to-
events occurring in the city of Veridia could very heavily influence that choice, as there is an active Archfey. And do you know what Archfey are good at doing?
being bastards. Pardon my French.
Making
Fucking
deals.
with the timelines and shit.
That,
Yes.
yes.
Messing with time and making deals. They may have a way, considering the Fae are also have been known to frequent Earth through fairy tales and other stories, which must have come from somewhere.
God, this is gonna become a fake.
Okay, I have a question off of that
Hmm.
question. Are you going to tell me what that pick my poison deal is, or am I going to have to beg and in our DMs?
Wait and see.
You're going to need a fake coin.
Think I'm a
Yep.
patient person. Whatever.
I don't have a
do
fake
you
point.
mean?
I'm sorry.
That's a pick your poison deal that your character will have to discover.
Damn it!
Yep.
Man, I really censored myself there. I hope everyone's proud. That
Very proud of you. Well done.
was a
So
shrug
proud.
and a half. Whoa.
There was a curse or two coming.
Keeping me in
Moving. Sorry, go on.
Keeping me in suspense? Crazy.
Never. As Spec will attest to, if there's one thing that us DMs are very, very good at, it's keeping our players in suspense.
Ooh.
Indeed.
I
No.
actually have a
Speaking of
question.
suspense. Oh, after you, friend. I
Oh,
apologize.
if you want to go, if you no, if you want to go first, you can. I don't mind.
Oh, this is more of a side question. I always like to ask progress updates on my characters that haven't really been seen in a while.
Hmm.
Like, I'm just curious. So we know Ro, the artifice, the dwarven one, has sort of been around Veridia, not really working closely with either group. The whole
Yes.
idea and the arrangement sort of rubbed him as strange. Meanwhile, he does do his maintenance and his routine creation of the mead in the basement in the meadery.
Yes.
He doesn't routinely engage with the group. How would you say his experience has changed ever since the party's antics have escalated?
So the Black Honey Meadery has been essentially turned into a supply of mead for the Clockwork Cadaver. So in terms of your character's earnings, he is definitely earning a lot more than he was just doing his day-to-day at the forges, as it were.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But the good news is,
No.
because it's mead, it doesn't require as much attention. So it's something you can do on the side.
That was the plan.
So we've got your future in our hands.
I mean, he's got a home he could theoretically return to if they'd accept him back up north.
Mm-hmm.
My follow-up question, Viren. As we both know, he's a rather active individual.
Yes.
Finds it hard to sit still. Anything you could allude to what he's up to as of late? What has he been doing? I know he's been observing the party for quite some time and took notes and before their meeting. What is he actively doing now, if you're able to say?
Right now, Viren is very much aware of the predicament that the crew that still has yet to have a name He is very much aware of what they're about to do to rescue Aura from St. Barrow's Annex. Which means he would be very much aware that they need escape routes.
So it would be within reason to say that. Once again, Viren has probably put in a few hours overtime, let's say, concocting perhaps potential ideas or routes for the party, but obviously hasn't gotten it to them yet. To not interfere unless they truly need it.
Correct.
All right.
And very soon, they may need it.
Understood. Well, I guess they can expect Viren on the horizon then.
Indeed. And I'm sure that'll be a relief to Osiris. Because if there's one thing that I can say, it's within of Dice and Destiny, the violence and the harsh reality hasn't hit the Earth travelers yet.
Viren will do very well to see that they start to open their eyes.
Are you sure it's not hit them yet?
Well, some of you it might have hit more than others.
I was gonna say, I think Aura's struggling a little bit over here.
Aura's had a crash course of violence.
Yes.
Poor
But
girl.
the rest of the party, Osiris has been gently letting them in to the knowledge of how bad it can get.
The horrors.
Yes.
We're amazingly terrible.
Whereas Viren is very much, yep, nope, this is happening.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Very much a to-the-point kind of person. No reason to delay. Or sugarcoat. But that leads me on to a question for the other people in Dice and Destiny. Viren's involvement was nothing if not strange. He came practically out of nowhere, knew your exact problem, knew where you were, who you were with, and what needed to be done to solve it when you all were trying to enter Londinium. What was your all's initial reactions and thoughts, or even concerns about him as a character? Because even now, though subtle, you've still seen the signs of his presence likely as you all have continued your operations throughout Londinium.
Sorry, can you repeat that question? Someone just walked into my room.
That's all right. Viren. He's been around.
Mhm.
He's known what's been going on. He's known what you all need for your problems to be solved. And you've still seen small markings of his influence all throughout Londinium so far. Sporadic and small, but definitely recognizable. What are your thoughts on his character? Your apprehensions, your concerns, or even the possible opportunities you see with him? What are your
Ooh,
thoughts on character?
ooh. I'm going to let the other two first of all. Oh wait, no, Tom's not here. Le.
Lou is on mute.
I am here.
Oh, there we go.
Ladies first.
I don't know, I'm kind of blanking.
He has that effect on people.
Viren's introduction to your character was rather violent with the crushing of jaws, Lou.
Yeah. Aura has an association with him to the current situation she's in, which is, in her opinion, needless violence. for what you believe is a better outcome. And she happens not to be its biggest fan, as her whole life is basically, I will do what I must for the masses. I would rather other people are comfortable than I am comfortable. I will put myself on the line if I know I am protecting someone. It's the opposite of Sienna, if anyone could tell.
Yes.
Very much so.
I wouldn't say that you and Viren, your characters, are polar opposites. More so, the method and the morality behind it is different, rather than the overall goals. I have another question for you then, Lou.
Oh.
So, Viren is a cleric. They worship something. They get powers from something. What is Lou's take on it? From your experience, from what I've known, is religion's been something sacred to your character. It's very devout, I've heard. And it's something that, in a lot of your experiences, has been used as more of a way to help people. And I believe Viren is something that challenges that idea. A character who is a lot more violent and to the point and considers circumstances more than people in a lot of cases, yet they seem to have a similar basis of power as to yourself. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are different from Aura's, so I think I'll go for Aura's thoughts, as that's more interesting.
Sure.
She believes Aura's a hardcore Christian, as it comes from her world. And in her opinion, both the devil and God possess power. And I suppose she just views a different God that promotes violence as still a God in their own nature, but not a God that she would give any of her worship.
Good answer.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Lou.
Oh dear. Go on.
Goodness gracious, I'm popular.
You are.
Oh yeah, you are.
I don't know how much of the Veridia you've been listening to, but if you have listened to any of it, do you believe your character in Veridia will be able to keep up with the amount of chaos that we're known for perpetrating?
From what I have heard, I think she's going to add to it significantly. So sorry, Mel.
Why are you sorry? As a DM, it's my job to control the chaos. And I have been doing a very good job of that so far.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Sienna is very flirty chaos goblin. She will do whatever it takes to get what she wants. And I mean whatever it takes. Whether she has to flirt, barter, gamble, kill, she'll do it.
Interesting.
And I can personally state that Maeve's Muriel's character, Maeve, is probably going to be within the same boat, adding on to the chaos. I'm in a couple other games with her, and she can go full on chaos goblin as well.
Yep. She has warned me of this, I will say. And I am thoroughly looking forward to it because the chaos that Maeve is bringing aligns very nicely with the story arc, and it aligns very nicely with everything that's going on. Some things of which Spec is aware of. Now, on the lines of things that Spec is aware of, What I would like to ask Spec is, what are your thoughts on Lillian as a character without revealing what you're aware of? And how do you feel she is being played? What criticisms and what compliments would you have for her? And for me as DM playing her?
I don't have a lot of inherent criticisms with Lillian. She seems like someone who almost wants to be challenged in the progression of her goals, right? Helping the nobles and everyone get what they want and helping the party raise Veridia into what she believes it was meant to be, right? It seems like she's someone who actively faces and seeks out opposition as a chance to shine and rise. In the case of Veridia, I feel the party's made it all too easy for her to succeed. While she is managing, I mean, there's a certain level of almost disparity that's expected between a leader and their crew, or at least a manager and their crew. And I feel like Lillian has pretty much removed that disparity or reduced it so far down that it's practically invisible to the human eye. I find that to be a interesting take that also heavily downplays Lillian as a character and her abilities simply for the fact that it's just been made too easy for her right now. And it is no fault of the DM or Lillian. It's just the more compliance she gets from people, the easier her goals are. If she's trying to raise the party into a powerhouse that can help stabilize Veridia and fix the problems, if the party listens to her every step of the way, well, her job gets a lot easier.
Yes.
And from the party's perspective, Lillian has done nothing but help them in many cases. She has aided them, covered for them, or pushed them to call out or think when necessary, and think through things again and again before making a rash choice. The thing I would like to see from Lillian is perhaps more of her setting her sights higher than the party. The party has seemed anything if not compliant with her this entire time. But there's a lot of different walks of life in Veridia that aren't. The traders that come in from the north, there's all sorts of small groups that Lillian's connections and rapport could be refined with. And I'd love to see Lillian focus more of her efforts internal into Veridia rather than trying to build rapport with those she already pretty much has under her wing now.
Yeah.
And as she does that, it will only create more options for the party. One option that Lillian was looking into was after speaking with Roe, traders coming in from the north getting limited exports right before the ice and the snow sheets began. That far north region that's mostly been unrefined ever since royal authorities took down the local syndicates keeping transportation running. It's pretty much been isolated.
That's very true.
Lillian setting her sights internal into more of the smaller groups, but also far beyond Veridia, will not only help Veridia and its influence reach further, but Lillian's name will live on, and her influence ability to help the party will only grow. Because as it currently stands, Lillian doesn't seem like she has much more to seek with the party. She's gotten them under her wing. They're doing successful. She only needs to help when truly necessary. The party knows how to contact her and she knows how to help them. So what's next? That'd be the question I'd ask you for her.
What's next for Lillian? There are certain plans that are in motion, and one of the next focuses that she's got is resolving a conflict that has erupted between certain factions, of which Sienna's introduction is going to help resolve. Be it one way or another, it will resolve.
Oh.
And
Oh, Lord.
All the pressure.
no pressure.
Blood or diplomacy.
Oh, no. It's just not going to end well for anyone involved apart from Sienna, if Sienna's involved.
It'll be fine.
But if there is one thing that I can say about that, it is that there is something that the party will be encountering soon that will further the goals that Lillian has for Veridia.
Okay. These are brains.
And it's all going to come to a head in 5 days. And every loose thread that you as a party close will help Lillian rise to that powerful position that she desires herself to be put in. Because as certain things occur across the city, as power falls, it is Lillian and her simulacrums that will be looking to weave herself in between where the vacuum is in order to maintain the status quo that exists currently, which will benefit Lillian, it will benefit the crew and the cadaver, and it will also further the goals of the Archfey and Lillian's rise to power, as it were.
Should we be worried?
No.
I mean, you should always be worried when power changes hands in Veridia. It's in
Always.
such a delicate. Like, if I were to give it from the perspective of Rose's character, he is in all senses of the word, a newcomer to Veridia. Well, not a newcomer to corruption. Growing up in the north, he saw that the criminal syndicates basically replaced the government in the far northern regions. They collected taxes in the form of threats, but they helped infrastructure. They hunted. They kept the beast from the mountains at bay.
Yes.
And everything changed for Roe when royalty was searching for a convict and they cleared out those syndicates. All of a sudden, when power changed hands, taxes were gone. Infrastructure was no longer maintained. Hunting ceased practically, as most of the sellswords in the region no longer deemed it viable or safe to continue operations. Now, meanwhile, it's a very different scenario, but it's the same idea of power changing hands. You have to think that Veridia is a finely balanced tower. Even if you hit one leg out and you put it right back, that tower's still going to wobble, even if a little bit. So the big concern is what comes next for Lillian, but who responds to the change?
Yes.
That's the biggest concern.
Should be worried because if we're in charge of changing Veridia, we're in charge of the tower. We're all children at heart.
Indeed, that's the risk.
Bye, tower.
Indeed. You keep the old hands that have been in power for decades, or do you let hands change, knowing that they could spell doom for the lesser, the people who don't have the ability to adapt to change? Because you have to think about it. When the tower wobbles, it's not going to be the people at the top that get hurt. It's those at the bottom. The poor people who live barely by the harbor, scraping by with what donations and work they can manage to afford. A family with a sick mother and a father slaving himself away at the salt mine dockers every day. They don't have the ability to choose or to adapt when power changes hands. They're just victims to circumstance. So you have to think about every action you do that affects the top, you're only hurting the people at the bottom. And how long until it's no longer worth it? Something to think about from Rose's perspective.
That's too deep for me.
I was
That
gonna
is
say,
true.
God damn!
I was going to say, welcome to Veridia.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've already thrown a spanner in the works of many of the factions. I mean, the Lantern Rights hate us.
Yep.
Oh, they despise us.
Don't know why.
We are a
The
thorn in their side.
people in charge of the coffins, they don't like us.
The Palapala has
Oh,
no
they-
reason to harm you or despise you.
They just don't like us.
To be fair, we were meddling in there and the Cobalt affairs.
That's true.
But you know what? They were taking over the Cobalt's tunnels.
I mean, I don't see what the Lantern Rights problems are. We only shot one of their foots off.
It's the Lantern Right. Yeah, and that person isn't even with us anymore.
Yeah. Just a foot, you know. Grow one back.
It's cast regeneration. He'll be fine.
What
In a
makes sure that's not
city
what-
that has forsaken gods in
Back overseas.
pursuit of technology and science and medical research, why would they call upon a divine aspect to regenerate a limb when
Exactly.
it is much more effective, much more cost effective to just give them a prosthetic limb that may be slightly hydraulic, depending on how rich they are, might have some hydraulics in it.
Or just go cut a foot off a corpse and sew it onto the stump.
Joel, that's some necromancy stuff. Joel, we had a level 5 one shot that did not go well for undead.
So,
Only the
yeah.
first necromancer.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Let's fire off some random questions for the players. And
my favorite time.
yeah, absolutely. So we're going to start with Osiris.
Oh, yippee! Bring it.
And this is the part where we're going to get into confessions time.
Oh no, he's not good at confessions.
Why do you choose to feed the blade blood?
I cannot actually say, as it is part of his backstory reason, which we have discussed on why he does. His mantra, as it would be called, and his way of living before.
Question. Is his mantra blood for the blood god?
No.
No, that was a thought, however. I was going to ask Metal about that, actually. But I'm going to refrain from doing that because that is copyright.
Because the moment you said that, when I heard that, I was like, oh, no, I don't think I like where this is going to be going.
Oh, you guys see his backstory soon enough.
So
that is why, though.
That leads me to the next question then. Well, the next two questions, I should say. What would the sword have to do before Osiris would finally abandon it? And are you more afraid that the blade will kill someone you love, or that you will eventually allow it?
I have thought about this question, and I think he's more afraid that the blade is going to kill someone he loves. And when that happens, because it is an inevitability of someone's going to get hurt by one of his rampages by that blade. So when that happens, it's really going to put it into perspective. I should get rid of this goddamn evil sword. I should just keep the handle and just get rid of the actual blade. And just try and resist.
If destroying the blade meant destroying a powerful part of yourself, would you still do it?
If it's for someone he loves, absolutely.
Fair.
Yeah, love.
So,
Ooh.
Say that again.
I was just. Can I ask a question to Osiris? Does he have anyone now that he would give up his sword for?
Right now, he's getting closer with the party more and more, but he's still distant with them. Right now, probably not. As a bit of a loner boy, but he doesn't really. He has friends and people that he talks to and gets information from, but he doesn't have anyone that actually cares for him. So at the moment, no.
Interesting. So, let's go to Aurelian next.
Oh, hello.
So, of all the NPCs that Aurelian and Hexalon combined have met through the course of the city of Veridia, which of them do you trust the most, other than Lilian?
Oh no! I don't trust Lillian fully. I tolerate her, but I think the one I like the most is the Gnomish Mafia, the player-made faction. They're fun, they're exciting, and they're so far outside the social norms that they are perfect.
Fair enough. And to everyone here at the table, what part of yourselves is Albion bringing to the surface? This is for everyone to answer.
Oh.
Then, like, the player? Like, what part of the player it's bringing out?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I've got a few answers, but I can cede it to someone else. First spot, at least.
I will let people go first before saying.
I would say for Radiant, after the Black Hour, Albion has slowly started to bring his not quite trust in people, but his like of people again.
Okay. Let's hear Spec.
So, I'm going to share through the character and then through the player.
Yes.
That's fine by you?
Absolutely.
So, Ro, my first character set in Albion is a person who is constantly stuck between two ideas. Having the bigger stick and trying to forget what he has to return to. Ever shifting between those two ideas, living under the guise and following almost devoutly his father's teachings, but trying to forget everything his father meant to his homeland, as it's a grim reminder of what he couldn't stand up to. Again and again. For me, this kind of brings this idea of introspective work, pushing parts of yourself back again and again. As you're working, just trying to survive in some cases. I'm sure everyone, all the viewers and everyone here has been at some point in your life where you felt like you were just trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be physically, mentally, or just emotionally. That drive to make it the next day. And I feel like that's what Ro is for me. And I feel like that's the integral part of his character. He's someone who spent so many years after his father's passing trying to survive that he hasn't once looked back and seen what was left in that wake. What people, relationships, and parts of himself he expended or left behind just to make it one step further or one step closer to his goals. Then for Viren, it's a complete opposite part. Viren is a realist, a very, very impulsive realist. He doesn't believe in anything other than moving forward. And it's not out of loathing or trauma, it's out of necessity. Being someone who is in the position to see the effects the arrival of your party has had on the world of Albion, and to see the mysteries and aberrations in the world and her people, and find the sources all around Albion of different anomalies. He's someone in a position who has the knowledge and information but doesn't have the time. Anything that isn't spent actively moving forward is a waste. When he stepped on the skulls of those poor bandits of the Glassred researchers, it wasn't out of malcontent or aggression or even some sort of sick bloodlust. It was out of necessity. Every dead person, if not destroyed, dismembered, or otherwise removed, is a liability. And every liability risks Viren not completing his task for the day, and every task will spring to the next. Viren has helped the party once get into Londinium. He plans to do it again, but the party is not his only goal. There's many parts of Albion that Viren has stake in, and as someone who can see the cards unfolding and being played, he needs time, and that for me is like the more impulsive nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you imagine you just never really, really wanted to do something, but you feel that pressure for time, so you just go for it.
Yeah.
That's what Viren really is for me, that impulsive nature given reason and character, where you don't have a moment to think about the consequences. You have to act first and mitigate later.
Mm.
And that's Viren.
That's interesting. Should we move to Turtle?
No, we could skip Turtle. I don't think Turtle can follow up that.
You don't have to follow it up. You just have to answer the question.
No. For the player bit, I don't think I have an actual answer. For Severin, I'd say at this point, he's probably not looking for a quick way out. He's not looking for, like, how can he quickly get away from the situation where always looking for an exit. Because in the beginning, I feel he definitely wouldn't have expended himself as he did to help the others.
Mm-hmm.
It would have just been, all right, what can I do to get myself out of this and into safety? he's basically pushed himself to a limit of exhaustion to help everyone else in the party. So he's trusting them a lot more.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Mhm.
What about Osiris and Aura?
Can I have an elaboration on the question? Because I fear I may have misunderstood it wildly.
I would like to join in on this.
So, how can I rephrase it without breaking the question?
Carefully.
Carefully is definitely the right answer to that. In regards to what your character is and what you as a player are bringing to the table, is there any aspect of yourself that you're pushing into your character more, or that you're bringing to the table more? And how is that manifesting itself in your character?
So I could probably answer for both, but naturally I'd have a bit more of a detailed answer towards Aura.
Yes.
Aura was originally not a cleric type character. She was a homebrew subclass, which she still is, called the Farmer.
Uh-huh.
And I originally started her, and I thought she was going to be more of this kind of tanky caster. Does a lot of damage, kind of brutal, cutthroat type of person. And as soon as I started playing her, I felt my instant want to care, my instant want to heal things. And I think that's like really become part of her. In just like the way she behaves, her favorite spells are the spells to heal. The time she feels most pleasure is when she is helping others. And I think that was very much just me more than it was her originally. And now it's become her. But originally I made her to be this brutal cutthroat character again. Like, didn't have any healing spells. I mean, she had spells from the druid spell list, not the cleric spell list.
Yes.
So I think that very much was me pushing myself into her. And for Sierra, didn't think I was gonna make her flirty. It just happened. It came out of left field, and I was like, you know what? Sure. And I rolled. That was definitely a part of me that just slipped out, as I'm a very flirty person and I find it fun. So that was very much a sudden. Oh, she's flirty. Cool.
That definitely stuttered and shocked both me and Severin, because it was just just like it was, just came right out, and I was like, huh?
To be shy. She was supposed to be a really shy character that hid in the shadows. And don't get me wrong, she still does that. But she's so much more charismatic than I intended her to be. And then maybe that was like me subconsciously thinking, well, she has a 20 in charisma. I can't really keep her being shy. But yeah, I didn't expect it. It just happened.
Just the words said themselves practically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it was never the intention. Turned out pretty good though. I love her. I think she's so cool.
Turned out great.
If Severin wasn't in his current condition, he probably would have flirted back, just because for me, it's usually shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was just a little shell shocked from like a heist, and then he got hit again with something else. It's like he just took a bit of extra psychic damage here. What just happened?
Okay, Colonel, we'll get a chance
yeah.
to start later in the campaign.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna.
God.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Chaos Gremlin.
Because there was at one point when we was doing a little side job where I had to essentially vortex warp the oversized robot from about to throw a tantrum and start combat. I thought I was going to have to also get Jeff's character along with our other Warforge's character out of a bit of issue, and I essentially had Severin. He got caught in one disguise, so I had to get him out of the way and switch out. And I was going to full on go, okay, how are we going to do this? I essentially made him take on the form of a young man about to go, like he's about to go meet someone, go in and basically straight up to Jeff and go, we were supposed to be meeting at the cafe, and I find you here with this thing, just to get them out of the interaction with the guards. So yeah, Severin, he's like, if it amusing to him or can help out, he'll do it.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
dying.
So I'm going to end then, because we've had some very good long answers on that question from a few of you now. But I'm going to end with a question to the others. So, not Spec, not Lou. You two are saved from this one because you answered the previous one. But to all the others, your character is sitting beside the fire after everyone else has gone to sleep. What do you finally allow yourself to admit? Even if it is to yourself, what do you finally allow yourself to admit?
Ooh.
I've got a good answer for this one. If you give me a moment.
Fair enough.
Ooh. Some. Oh, I have to do both as well, don't I?
Uh-huh. Well, you can pick one or the other, I don't mind.
I'll do both. I'll do a small bit of lower job. For Osiris, something he would admit is probably finally thinking, wow, I had a really bad place growing up. These places are really good. This is. I am valued here.
Okay.
For Kane, it's not much, really, but probably admit maybe I should be looking after myself a little bit more.
Fair enough. Aurelian?
When the day is settled and he's finally on his own, he can finally look up and he can look across at Severin and think, I could tolerate this person.
Ooh.
That's a first. Damn.
That would be quite some character development for Aurelian, I imagine.
Yeah, he he doesn't mind Severin. He loves the verbal sparring, and he reckons, yeah, probably he could violently tolerate the person.
Oh, that's on you. Severin already tolerates him. That's why he messes with you.
Exactly.
If he didn't like you, he would not interact.
Well, I will get there eventually.
For Severin, I think if it was just him there, he would probably very quietly utter, I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm not going to let them get onto that.
Fair enough. Spec.
I think Rowe's comments and his realizations would be much more internal monologues than anything external.
Mm-hmm.
If, let's say, working with this group and having traveled far from Veridia, but just resting by the campfire, looking over them as one that tends to work into the later hours of the night. In exchange, he's a bit grumpy in the early mornings, understandably so. He would just think more to what he left behind. He ran from home mere days after his father's passing. He didn't feel capable of filling in that gap he left. With the syndicates gone, his father took to maintaining what infrastructure he could. And with his father gone, well, Rowe was the next in line, of course. One of the few capable smiths left in a more isolated town. But he couldn't fill that mantle. He couldn't take upon the podium. So every moment like this where he's watching over this group, acting as that protector, he's just thinking about a what if. What if I didn't run that day? What if I'd stayed? What if I helped my father? What if over and over and over again, knowing that he'll never have the confidence to go see what could be. He won't willingly return there. But just thinking over and over and over what would have happened had he never ran that day.
And for Viren? Or are we going to leave that one a mystery?
It's a hard one for Viren.
Fair enough.
His personality and character is much more manufactured than anything else. He's an ultimate victim. I wouldn't even say victim, but a product of circumstance. Someone needed to act, so he did. Rather than that, I think the question would be, would you really think Viren would be the kind that would rest at the campfire and sit down? Every moment wasted is a moment that could have been earned, utilized. Even if you look back at when Viren had hired the group to go raid the Black Rit sort of compound, the abandoned research tower that had been repurposed, he didn't ask for them to destroy the tower. He asked for them to delay its progress.
Yes.
Because Viren didn't need them gone, he needed time to use them. Knowing that time is such a resource in most moments of Viren's life have been made using it as efficiently as possible, could you really see Viren being the kind of person to sit and rest by the campfire, rather than one that would ponder out into the woods ahead of the group to already get a head start on what's to come? Even if exhaustion happens, it's only physical. If it doesn't kill him, Viren could theoretically push on. So do you think he would take that moment to ponder by the campfire? That's my struggle. That's where it lies.
And on that note, I think we will close tonight's Coffee, Cogs and Confessions. I hope you've all enjoyed listening in on the characters and the players and their thoughts. I hope you've all enjoyed the show, and I do have a couple of quick announcements. So, the first announcement I'd like to make is that we have exclusive discounts with certain friends and partners only on our Discord channel. The Discord link is available from our website if you'd like to join up, and we would like you to come in, participate, and enjoy the D&D games that we have on offer. We are actively recruiting for active members, active players, and if you think you've got what it takes to join the party and save the world, or create the apocalypse, whatever the case may be, then do feel free to join the D&D Void. We are always going to welcome new players, whether you're experienced or not. So that's the first announcement. And yes, that leads to the second announcement, where on our Discord we do have some exclusive discounts that you won't find anywhere else, and we are not going to announce on the channel. But it could lead to future partnerships with friends and other companies that we all actively enjoy and use. So please do join our Discord. Next episode or next session will be City of Veridia. No, it won't. Next session will be Games of Glory tomorrow night, where we are going to be joined by Wesley and Omega and their team.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that in mind, come back tomorrow from 8 p.m. British summertime, that is, and enjoy the Games of Glory. And see if our champions to be can survive the gauntlet. And at the same time, see if our champions to be can uncover the secrets within the challenges. And on that note, it's goodbye from me. And it's goodbye from the crew.
See ya.
Oh, goodbye, people.
Au revoir.